Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles. Today I wanted to show you guys how to take some traditional origami pieces that we've looked at earlier in the year and how you could put them together to make a fun kind of container or box for the holidays. We're just going to be using a standard Menko piece. This is the single paper Menko design, and it works really great because you can then create some hinges to kind of connect it together so that you can create different box shapes. And I was just going to show you guys today how to make a really nice little long box. I've got a bunch of them made already here to kind of show you guys. The nice thing about this is that you do have a lot of freedom to kind of change up the size and shape of things. You do just have to kind of keep things within the shape of the square, but then you can kind of play around with the different ways that you set it up. What I've done is I'm going to make mine 5 in length and a singular piece. So this is basically the bottom, and then I've got my side here, and then this is going to be a flap lid that's going to go on top. And I'm going to show you guys how to do one more row over here so you can see how the pieces fit together, and then how we'll fit up on the edge on the sides, and kind of show you all those parts. If you're interested in doing kind of similar to what I'm doing today, what I've got is you have 22 pieces for the Menko pieces, and those are all 15 by 15 centimeters. You can tell there's 4 rows of 5 and then 2 on either side. And then the hinges, if I've calculated right, you need about 37 of those, and that's a smaller piece of paper that's 10 by 5 centimeters, and I'll show you guys how to create those as well. And like I said, I'll go ahead and show you guys kind of how to do some of the parts. I'm assuming you guys know how to make a Menko, and if not, you can go ahead and check. I'll have a link here so that you can go to the page to remind yourself of how to make this particular origami. Like I said, you do need to make 22 of these. I'm choosing to make my box red and then the lid is green. That's just something to do. So I'll get this guy out of the way for a second. And once you've gotten the pieces, you want to make the hinges that we use to put stuff together. And if you're already using some paper and you have like 15 by 15 centimeter paper, what we can do is you can get 4 pieces of hinge from this particular paper. What you can do is just first fold it into thirds. That's 5 centimeters in width each. So just kind of pinch it off and fold it here so that we can get a nice strip that's 15 by 5 centimeters here each. And then when you look at it the other way, go ahead and fold it into thirds again, but only pinch one side here. I don't need to pinch both sides. It's fine if you wind up accidentally pinching both, but I do just want to mark off one side here and fold. And then from here, what you can do is cut out your paper. You can cut straight across here and then cut the lines that you see so that you can get 3 parts that you'll need for the hinge part. And then you can see we've got enough on the right side there to take one more if we take our scissors here. So like I said, each piece of paper will give you the 4 pieces that you need if you're just using regular origami paper. If you're using some other kind of paper, you can just measure it and cut it out. Like I said, it's 10 by 5. And you need, you can overestimate, shoot for having about 40 of them, but I think it takes about 37 pieces. But I'll show you guys here how to fold these. So we've got 4 hinge pieces here. This one already has that center crease, and then we're just going to simply take the top right corner and fold down to the center, and then take the bottom left corner and fold up so that you get this little parallelogram kind of thing going here, and that's your finished hinge. And then you just do that, repeat that then for all the other pieces so that you get all the hinge pieces that you need for everything to be put together here. So once you get all those pieces together, you want to put things together with the Menko. And the easiest way to kind of look at things is that when you have this nice smooth side here, you can slide one of these hinges right into it like so. And it just uses up that triangle there into that little pocket. And then if you take another Menko with the smooth side on top and just slide it in as well, if I can get the pocket to open up here. And essentially there's 4 pockets, one on each side of here. But you should wind up then with the pieces fitting together nice like this. Now, I think it works good and easy to put a little bit of glue first. And what works really good so that you don't get glue all over your fingers, just to go ahead and put glue in each of these 4 sections and then fold things up so that when you piece them together, then you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to hold it and put glue on the other side, and then you get glue all over your fingers and everything doesn't work for the way you want it to. But so like on this one, I've already got one of them in here. You just connect one after another to itself until you can get a whole row of 5 put together. And you can work with it with the smooth side facing up, or you can work with it with the kind of cushiony side facing up. Either way works great, depending on the kind of result of what you want everything to look like. But looks like I didn't get this one up at the top glued in yet either. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll show you guys again how this goes. But you do want to get 4 sets of 5 put together, and if you're doing like I did in my case where I put I'm making my lid a different color. My lid's green. You can do that, of course, and then choose if you want to have the same color, hinge color, if you want to have a different color. I used green for the hinges on the top part of that, and then red for when it connects to the rest of the box. But what you should wind up with then are 4 rows of 5 to give us the 3 sides of a box and then a lid. And once you get all these pieces together into a nice long strip, then you can take the hinge pieces to do the parts that connect in between. And just as when we were looking at the smooth side, we looked at the smooth side of our hinge, I'm looking at the cushion side here, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with this and just slide it in, and then you just connect to the other side. And in this case, because we're trying to do a whole row and we want them to fit really nice and snug together, and you don't want to have as much, you want to avoid as much trouble with glue as you can. I think what works best is to first just put in all of this row on the side and then put the glue on all 5 of the pieces before piecing them together. So I'll go ahead and put the glue on these, get the first part done here, and then show you guys how to connect it to the other part, so that we can get everything kind of going at once. If you try to do it separately, it definitely can sort of cause a lot of trouble. More trouble than you want, probably. You can kind of twist things around and squish it in the way you need to and then kind of fix it up later. But if it's, you know, if you want to avoid some of those little troubles like that, you can just start off by doing all this whole side once, and then we can do the other bit as we connect here. So I've got all of these pieces connected here. And the nice thing about this particular kind of hinging system is that there's no way to put things in wrong or backwards because the pieces won't fit, basically. So you kind of know you're doing it right when you put it together, if you folded the hinge piece properly from the beginning. So I'm just going to open up all these, and then this is going to allow for easy chance to just put a dab of glue. And really, when you're making this, if you're going to all the trouble of making all these pieces, you want this to last. So you're going to want to use just a tad bit of glue to kind of keep things secure. I don't think it holds very good if you don't use glue. If you're just using the hinge and you just put it together, the general pressure of making a whole box might hold it together, kind of, but really you're going to probably want to keep things a little bit longer. So I'm just going to turn things around because I think it works a little easier for me this way to do things, but you can certainly try anyway. But you're just going to kind of slide things in, and you don't need to do things very far. I just want to get stuff started so that I can get all of these beginnings so that at the end I can just put a little pressure on the side and get it all to fall together at once. And you want to make sure, of course, you're working on a surface where it's okay to get a little bit of glue. But you get those kind of started, and then just pressuring it in a little, you should be able to slide things in. And you know, try to shimmy it in as much as you can so that you can get a really nice finish. Try to get stuff as close as you can, of course. This particular box design does wind up having stuff that's just a little open, which is fine. I think it looks kind of cool. And it's also going to have interior boxes to hold on to things if you do have something that you're putting in there. But now you can see I've got that all connected so that I get a whole 4 set all connected there. And then the last little bit, you know, after you've gotten all that together, I want to put a side piece right here to kind of finish off my box. And essentially we're just adding 2 more to either side here in the middle of this one. So I can just start off by getting those pieces in first, and then from there connecting everything. So start by getting this extra piece here on both the top and the bottom, or the left and the right, I should say. So we've got that extra layer there. And then you can go ahead and put, if we start over here, I can just start off by putting a piece here and on the other side so that I can get things going to connect to the inside here. And this step is tricky because there is a lot, you know, there's not a whole lot of room to work with. And you do want to try your best to avoid, you know, getting glue everywhere, of course, but you do want to try to get it all put together right. So I'll kind of show you here as this goes. But so I've got those 2 pieces started there in this end piece, and then I can put a bit of glue, and it's best to glue up both sides because you're probably going to want to try to do the connection to both parts as soon as possible to each, just to avoid having glue kind of going every which way. But I'm just going to be kind of twisting things around here. And this is a part where you really are going to get glue on your fingers, so you're going to want to just get stuff started and then give yourself a chance to clean up before you do anything else, because you don't want it to be getting glue anywhere else. But try to get that in there for as secure of a little connection as you can, but that can give you a finished side. And then I can just make sure, you know, of course you don't have pieces of glue everywhere, and then we can try to do the other side here too. And that will finish off the box and give us this nice long piece. And like I said, the nice thing about this particular origami is that you could just really have a lot of fun with, you know, how big you need something to be. If you have, like, if you're giving a pen, you can change up the size of this. If you're giving a, if you're giving chocolates, you can change it up. There's just so many fun ways that you can use this. It does take a little bit of time to make all the parts. But if you use really pretty paper, if you use wrapping paper too, I always love using wrapping paper for origami this time of year. It makes a really pretty finished piece. So Now when you make the little boxes that you might want to put inside of here, you do want to make sure that you use paper that's just a tad bit smaller than 15 by 15 centimeters. I just kind of trimmed off what was probably the equivalent of a couple millimeters on each side. So I'd say maybe like 14.5 by 14.5 will be fine. You don't want it to be too small because you do want to still be able to have everything fit. But just to kind of keep it a little bit smaller so everything will go inside when you're done. So once you get everything put together, then if you'd like, you can go ahead and put in any little boxes that you might have to put inside. Now these boxes are just a tad bit smaller than the base, and they are actually not quite as tall as the box, obviously. They're about half the depth. So they work more like a tray, maybe, than perhaps like an actual box. But you can just slide them in and get them all lined up here. I'll get mine all lined in here so you guys can see how everything looks when it's inside. That kind of gives you a little finished section of stuff inside there. And then if you want, you can finish things off with a ribbon or with a little bit of thread and button, if you like, for example. Lots of different ways that you can finish things off to make this kind of a completed box. And like I said, you could easily use just some string to wrap around it, anything to kind of make it complete. But that's just one of many ways that you guys can enjoy using some of the traditional origami to kind of put things together to make a cool new little finish for your holiday season. I hope you guys can have some fun with this particular model, and I'll have some more fun projects for you guys later on. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye.